Hi everyone, it's Giselle with a message regarding communication and why your twin flame may be finding it extremely hard to express themselves openly during the time of separation. I don't usually like to refer to it as separation because it is the time where you get to work on yourselves and create the true version of who you are, but yeah, it appears on the physical plane as separation because they are not in contact. And no matter what you try, you're not really able to generate the communication from them that you ideally like. And there are several reasons for this, but I'll talk about the more common ones that I found through my personal journey and through having done many, many readings for people. Of course, if you'd like to get more clarity on your specific situation, all my details are in the description box, so you can contact me for a reading if that's what you'd like to have. So basically, what a very common theme with this is people will find that they've had an amazing time with this person. Communication with them was so easy and so open and so warm. There was this love that just emanated from this person, whether they told them this or not. It just could be felt so strongly. But suddenly, out of seemingly nowhere, communication dies off and is so hard, it's like pulling teeth. Whereas to begin with, it was so flowing and easy and wonderful. Now it's like, in some cases, you can't even get a response and you're left hanging with zero communication. You think, have I been ignored, or like, have they fallen off the face of the earth? Have I been ghosted? What is happening? And what we don't get to see is their side of the journey. And for me, because I've been through it myself and had so many different people that I could use as case studies through the readings that I've done, it's because basically you both get activated when you meet. You know that this is a special connection. They know it too, whether they admit it verbally to you or not. They can feel it. And in most instances, if you're, say, in a divine feminine, you're the divine feminine and the divine masculine is the one that you're inquiring about, I've actually found with mine and with many other people that they actually knew before you realized what this was. Pretty much the moment that you met. It's like love at first sight, that kind of thing, you know? And I didn't fully grasp and understand until we did go into separation what this was. So in a way, that separation period, I see that as a good thing because it led me to understand the depth of this connection and what this truly was and what my place in it was. But with them, I feel like with mine, definitely, he already knew before, well, the moment that we saw maybe even before we met each other, he already knew. And everything in his demeanor and his behavior and the way that he spoke and the way that he just held himself, I felt like, wow, this person knows something. I don't know what it could be, but I also felt this extreme attraction, this beyond physical attraction, this magnetic soul pull. And I just felt like I could, spend the rest of my life with this person. And I couldn't explain. I was like, what? I've had instances in my life where I thought it was love at first sight, but nothing like this. This was love at first sight amplified by 1,000. It was unbelievable. And even I couldn't deny that. But still, I didn't know that this was a twin flame dynamic until that separation period happened. And why did the separation period happen? For them, it was because they were faced with a lot of conflicting feelings and thoughts whilst they felt the same as you, as wow, I could spend the rest of my life with this person, then all of the insecurities started coming up. The I'm not good enough, I'm not accomplished enough, I need to be able to offer more. Society's stereotypical expectations on them started to come to the surface. Oh dear, if this person is going to love me, I need to be able to afford a house and a wedding and this and that and all that nonsense, really, because deep down they must know that all we want is just them and that's everything. Yes, other things are nice, but not necessary. And the stage that I've gotten myself at in my life is that I could provide all those things for myself anyway. There is no need for them to do it. And if they want to do it, great, but they don't have to. But that's the thing that they don't get. So they end up getting themselves stuck in such confusion and such a mind warp. It's like a spider web of all. They're, yeah, so entangled in these feelings of not enough and lack of self-worth and certainly lack of self-love. And then all of the pain and confusion from past relationships, and not even just romantic, just any kind of relationship that made them doubt themselves and forget who they truly are and kind of lost the essence of who they were before they came down to earth. All that starts coming up and it creates an excruciating amount of pain. I felt it through mine. I have the ability to truly feel because I'm empathic, and the intensity, telling you, I've been through some horrendous times in my life, but not even me, and all of the stuff that I had gone through, had experienced anything quite so traumatizingly painful. It's excruciating. And if you could understand just a little tiny bit of what this pain is, you're gonna empathize and think, oh gosh, well, them responding to me doesn't really take priority because that pain needs to be fixed and sorted out first. I come second. That needs to go. It was an anxiety unlike any other. I was just cooking dinner for myself and I wanted to be physically sick. And in order for them to be able to sort through that pain, they needed to take a step back, to disconnect and just, discontinue communicating. It wasn't permanent because they did come back to me, but it took them a while to get over all of that. It felt like years and years and years of buildup of torment and anxiety, and they really had to sort through that. Because the reason why I know mine didn't want to communicate with me during the time that they felt such pain was they didn't want me to perceive them as a weakling, as somebody who didn't have it all together, because the image that he came in with was pretty much the knight in shining armor who could do no wrong and had everything sorted and figured out and had this wonderful life and so much to offer and a bright future ahead of him. And now there's this man who just seems to be only kind of half of who he thought he was, and everything else that he thought he knew seems like an illusion. And it truly hurts. And for me to have experienced that pain with him and shared in that feeling, I now understand why this time apart was necessary, why he couldn't express himself during this time. And I just kept the faith that he would work through it. As much as I wanted to help him, he just couldn't accept my help. I had to leave him to it, and he had to help himself. But I knew that he was going to return once he did sort through that, and he did. So I want you to know that even though you may be feeling disconnected right now and unable to communicate with him, your true twin will be back. If it's a false twin, they won't be, but that's a good thing. I know from my false twin, the moment that he cut me off and just very rudely, never responded back to me, my true twin at least gave me an explanation as to why he felt, even though it wasn't the real explanation. I knew the real explanation intuitively, but he gave me an explanation as to why he couldn't, for the time being, do this anymore. My false twin just buggered off and never came back. So, but that's a good thing because, well, false twins and all that. But yeah, I hope that this has at least clarified for you a little bit, gave you a window into their perspective and why they can't come forward at this time if that's what you're experiencing. But as I said at the beginning, everyone's journey is unique, and if you did feel like you needed me to clarify more specifically for you, then my services that I offer certainly can help you with that, and all my details are in the link. But thank you all so very much for watching, and have a beautiful day. Namaste.